Tens of thousands of Algerians have taken to the streets in the capital, Algiers, for the 19th straight week. Protests have gripped the country since February, forcing President Abdelaziz Bouteflika to abandon plans to seek a fifth term. Demonstrators are calling for all politicians linked to the former administration to resign. But the opposition can claim some progress. Members of the elite, including former Prime Minister Ahmed Ouyahia, are being investigated for corruption. Well, Farouk Atig is a journalist joining us now from Paris. So thanks very much for being with us. So this is the 19th straight week of protests taking place in Algeria, and it seems there's no effort to let this up. But are they? I mean, how much progress are they making at this point?
Hi, Hazem. Well, many progress, even if at the moment the response, the answer of the regime, of the military regime doing the transitional at the moment in Algeria is trying to push on the demonstrators to stop and resign, and they are calling for a transitional dialogue with the demonstrators. But I've been told, like a couple of minutes ago, for example, by two reliable sources, first of all, within the police officers and also by many colleagues of Algerian media, that a minimum of 200 people have been arrested, not at the start of the demonstration, but a couple of minutes before, as it looks like the Algerian regime is kind of lost and do not know how to deal with the problem of those demonstrations. And you just said, and you mentioned it, that it's been now more than 4 months of peaceful and quiet demonstrations, and they don't know how to deal with that problem for the regime.
So how would you assess the mood in the country right now? Because there are many key people of the old guard who are still in power.
Yeah, there are still two important figures of the past regime. There is, first of all, the interim president Abdelkader Ben Salah, and also Mr. Bedwi, the prime minister of transition. We are talking about transitional issues at the moment. Both of them are still in power, in touch with the political affairs of Algeria, and most of the demonstrators want them to just step down, and they do not want, even the regime, the military regime, is asking to the demonstrators to try to understand that no political issue is possible, a political solution is possible without those two peoples, and that's the problem. The demonstrators refuse that, both of them, Mr. Bedwi and Mr. Ben Salah, to conduct the new Algeria, the Algeria of the future, as they are figure of the past, and they were, both of them, very close political figures of the last President Abdelaziz Bouteflika, who stepped down 2 months ago.
And where does the Algerian military stand in all of this? Are they seen as the key to all of this?
Yeah, they're probably seen as the key, but as we have been reporting during the last weeks in Algeria, we've seen that the more intense get this demonstration, even if it's peaceful, as I said, the more it is a problem for the army. The army is supposed to be outside these political issues, but they are not actually, as we understand that for the moment it's the Lieutenant Chief of Staff, Mr. Ahmed Salah, who is at the moment conducting the political affairs of every day, even if he said a couple of days ago that he has no personal political ambition. The demonstrators, most of them figures of the civil society, but also anybody in the street, they don't want the army to be against them, but accompanying them to try to build the Algeria of the future. Isam?
Good to speak with you, Farouk Atig. Thanks very much for being with us.